Welcome to the jungle. Black Wednesday's rolled around and it's darkness all around in the forest. They say the seniors should stick around for the first week or so. So where are they? That's right, the week-long induction, just one of many genius ideas the Rhodes team has, leaving you to fend for yourself. The first week can go one of many ways, as you desperately try to hide your shortcomings, desperately hoping you aren't the dumbest one here. Much like the deer being chased, you don't need to outrun the lion, you just need to outrun your friend. You've already managed to piss off the infection control nurse about your watch. Bambi's on thin ice, but your wrist wasn't. Clueless, you stand in the middle of the ward, computer loading screen at the hand. Cows, they call them, computers on wheels. Slow, milk to an inch of their lives, and then, if you borrow one for home, it's not looking good. At last, you meet the consultant and you're feeling pretty confident. Pens in pockets, stethoscope around the neck, and the bandage tape holding the trust and your bleep together. You normally have the onion in your pocket somewhere. Usually it sits collecting dust between the Gray's Anatomy and the Kumar and Clark's textbook next to the dying plant on your shelf. They've turned fewer pages than the economy has. Of course the notes aren't on the computer, and of course the trolley holding them together is the one with the 8 exit gate. You eye up your colleague to see which one of you is weaker. Who will be the trolley for the day? No continuation sheets? No problem. Just find the blankest piece of paper and scribble down something. Someone will find it, probably in the coroner's court. As the ward round progresses, it's time. The final OSCE exam has not prepared you at all for this. The consultant asks you to listen to a chest. You can't just write down bye-bays the crackles and close the window. Query cap, query infection. No, this is different. The chest exam is off. Odd sounds. You can almost feel it breathing down your neck. This isn't normal at all. It isn't until you turn around that you realise that the hot Haribo breath is actually one of the members of the MDT, armed with a handover sheet that's been out of date for 3 days, happily tagging along, furiously scribbling down the plan just for the handover to remain the same the next day. You're pretty sure Bed 5 has been home for 2 days. When the ward round is done, you and your other colleagues sit down and divvy up the jobs based on how much you feel they'll let you get away with. Don't be fooled though, sometimes the jobs that look straightforward end up being the worst decisions you didn't make. That post-amputation CRP, query chepsis, drawn up by one of the MAPs without direction, might be the highlight of your day. Having lunch with your colleagues might be a little awkward. The food can really vary in quality, from cold beans and jacket potatoes, all the way to the Michelin star trifle you swiped from the patient's fridge. If your consultant does join you at lunch, make sure that you keep it strictly formal, talking about what jobs you want to do once you leave medicine but won't do. But don't get caught short. Just because he makes jokes about women in the workplace or his wife doesn't mean you can too. You have to teeter between not just being seen as another boring worker drone versus the guy who's on a first name basis with every member of the GMC. The post-lunch tiredness is probably kicking in, along with the caffeine wearing off. So now would be the best time for someone to pop their head around the corner. I've been bleeping you. Bed 1 is complaining they're cold, Bed 3 is complaining and before you can ask which bed is, there's also a pigeon that needs tending to. Inevitably, you're going to be asked what you want to specialise in, and since podiatry photography isn't a viable answer, you're going to have to conjure up something. Don't lie, but don't tell the truth either. You'd long ruled out all medical specialties automatically after realising calling the medreg wasn't a generic term, but actually a single person in the entire hospital. Something that took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out. One person? Really? For the entire hospital? It's still shocking 5 years on. If they ask about infectious diseases, please do not, for the love of Dr. Mike, tell them that the super specialist virology clinic you sat in for 5 hours, learning about drugs which will be redundant in 3 years' time, with someone who should have been redundant 3 years ago, wasn't the best use of a Friday evening. Coxsack something virus? That can't be right. Nor should you tell the general surgeon, who's made his family redundant, that you think spending the supposedly best years of your life holding the retractor like you held the flashlight into your dad's disappointed face is not a great use of your 20s and 30s. GP and chill was looking okay until you realise it takes you 10 minutes to order an x-ray. Coming up with a treatment plan at the same time would be more like GP and recover from burnout. However, if you're orthopaedically inclined, you also realise that 10 minutes is far too long to ask someone to point to where it goes ow. So instead, you just settle on deciding which degree you should have done instead. As you walk back to the car at the end of the day, and you're staring at the ticket on the windshield, you contemplate the 18-year-old walking into that first lecture theatre at medical school. You envy him, not because of his youthfulness, no, but because he gets to sit on a chair whilst you're balancing on top of the hazardous waste bin, praying the lid doesn't reveal how much you've been cheating on your diet. You hand over the elective PR exam you didn't have time to do, grab your bag, and disappear back from whence you came. You're no longer an outsider looking in, you're the foliage within. Don't get trampled. Welcome to the jungle.